Alright, so I just finished weigh-ins just a bit ago, and I just came back from the store, got myself some snacks. So Doritos, Sour Patch Kids, C4, Gatorade, Pedialyte, pre-workout inside the bag. So I won't lift till like later, probably like maybe 10:30, which is what the guy told me, and I weighed in at 62 kg. And that's not even like, well, I mean, it's close to what I'm supposed to weigh in at, but at the same time, like, why am I not fucking 67? Well, anyways, I mean, I felt like I wanted to eat, but at the same time, I just wanted to chill here till like later. I have to warm up. So that's just what we're gonna do. So we'll see y'all when we start warming up. Okay, so after about a week, haven't posted this video, and I had everything laid out, just had to do commentary, and most of the time I was stuttering, messing up on a lot of the recordings, so I had to go back and forth, and so I was just prioritizing on very important things, and so really I just wanted to get those things out of the way before I really just actually get to the video and doing all the commentating. So now that that's out of the way, I just want to also mention before I start commentating on some of the attempts is that I was not 100% at the powerlifting meet, and just speak I've done it before. I did in high school. I have videos on it, but I'm just the warming up process just didn't feel like very like how most of my training sessions felt, and that was the moment in day where I could truly show like how strong I am, and I just don't think I had it at the precise way that I would typically do it in any other training session. So I went 7 to 9, got second place in my weight class, did really well. I didn't even weigh in at 148. I weighed in at 143, and honestly, I was genuinely surprised I was even able to compete, anyways. But as long as you're above 60 kilos, you could still compete in that weight class, and more or less could just win by your weight, depending on your total. Okay, now we could finally get on to the raw footage of my warm ups and the attempts. Okay, so going on to bench, I would say everything went fairly okay. And the only reason I say that is because honestly, I was just genuinely surprised how everything went because I wasn't, fully warmed up. Like I did laterals with like a 2.5, and I did a few push-ups and just wasn't warmed up for my shoulders or like lats or like my chest nearly enough. And so basically I kind of winged it, and I wasn't doing it in a very um arrogant way, like just completely oblivious on how to approach everything. It's just I just felt restricted in a way, just because like we weren't really able to use the accessory room, and so like I felt like I was 100% like, oh, I can't be in there at all. And So that's kind of just what held me back a lot.
Play that. So, are you recording? It's recording. I'm gonna do yeah, just just do one rep. Just do one rep. Okay. Hey, what's up? Hey, you want to win your bracket? You practice already? Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like I overshot that just a little too much. And usually I don't really post it on YouTube a lot, and it's mostly on my Snapchat stories where I post my training, and that's a little bit of the footage that you more or less don't see unless you're in that private story. But I'm very extremely like meticulous in how much I put on the bar, and most of the time I never use safeties. I never have spotters because I know 100% sure in my heart and soul that I'm going to hit that weight for the amount of reps that I do. And if I have a feeling that my body is just not, feeling it that day, I'm not nearly carbed up enough, I didn't take really any pre-workout, which I have not been taking for about almost a year, then I'll make the most rational decision and put on how much I'm able to actually do. but it was just one of those times where I just wasn't um, sure of how much weight I was really supposed to do. But overall, went great.
That was recording.
Okay, so big reason why I missed 415 on deadlift was because my hands weren't firmly and completely wrapped around the bar, and so that was the result of my impending doom and missing 415. And I would just want to shout out to the guy that helped me out the entire meet. His name is Dante. I'm going to put his Instagram in the description below. You could hit him up for coaching. Great guy. He has great insight as far as training and just, overall like operating and powerlifting meets. And I do recommend hitting him up to, get better insight as far as everything that I had mentioned. So just to wrap things up, because this video is almost 20 minutes long, I have a lot that I want to essentially um, kind of explain for what's going to be going on for the future, and a lot of big things, a lot of great things. So the the journey that I'm going through will speak itself. So I will one day probably be 100 years old in my botanical garden meditating, that sort of thing. But we'll see when we get there. So see you guys in the next video.